Hey everybody, today we're going to do something very weird and interesting. I had some requests from a lot of you who view my Oracle videos and want to know what are the books behind me, what's on my shelves. So we're just going to do a little tour of Elliot's bookcases. You can see I got a bazillion tarot cards over here. It's really a mess. I need to take better care of that. There's a painting my mom did for me of Glinda, which I really love when she was alive. Um, the top statuary, this is the birth of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, from the Acropolis. And it appeared on the Parthenon. So here's a model of the Parthenon. It was in the pediment up here in the gable of the temple. And there's just a few pieces that survive in the British Museum, like this statue is very famous, this one, or the reclining Aphrodite over here. But this was a wonderful anniversary gift from my husband a few years ago, so he really knocked my socks off with that. But a lot of you know that I love Athena, the goddess of wisdom. And in fact, my first business was called Athena's Oracle. I got these old business cards from like 25 years ago and a little ad, which kind of fell down here. That was a long time ago. And here's actually what the shop kind of looked like. It's an artist rendered it. But there was my little sign, Athena's Oracle, with the little blue paint in the front. So this is just kind of my little homage to Athena and a little birthday card my mom drew for me a long time ago. And then we go through mythology books. So this is the first mythology book I ever held when I was a kid. And let's see if I can kind of pull it out here. It was illustrated and I just loved it. It was discarded from a library. But that's where I first saw Athena. And it was this beautiful illustration. And I just thought, how cool. She's even got a little owl with her. And there were all these other illustrations of gods and goddesses, which I just adored. So I got like, a bunch of mythology books, classical studies like of Hera and the different gods and goddesses. I've always been fascinated by mythology. And then here, all these green books, they're called the Loeb Classical Library. And a lot of these books are really interesting for classical scholars because they are written in the Greek and also in the English with a translation. So like that's Gaian pametara esamai thamothom praspiste ne ferbi epikatoni panthopos. And it means I will sing of the well-founded earth, mother of all, eldest of all beings. She feeds all creatures that are in the world. So it's just kind of cool to go through all these old texts and read them in the original Greek. I studied ancient Greek in college, and I got a lot of these hymns memorized or whatever because I'm a complete nerd. And every day I also pick tarot cards. So I, today picked Hebe, the goddess of youth, and Hades, which means I'm kind of looking at some underworld stuff. I picked the Pythia today from the Oracle of Apollo, and then Hermes, and then I picked the tiger and the little skunk there. So I always pull cards in the morning. So that's all my ancient Greek library. And then here's just all the books about ancient Greece. We got Delphi. We got all the Oracle books, all the studies on the Oracle. I really love that. Ancient Greek temples. This is like one of my favorite books. It's all about Greek temples and things like that. Religious practices from the ancient world. And then down here, I have some like biographies and stuff. So like Cleopatra, this is a great book about Cleopatra by Stacy Schiff. Oh, and this is actually a coin from Cleopatra's reign. It's from about 30 BC. It's a bronze coin. And you can see she didn't look as glamorous as you might think Elizabeth Taylor would have depicted her. She's got kind of that hook nose going on. But I love ancient history. I love Queen Cleopatra. And I've just recently got into English history really a lot. So I have books about the kings and queens from England. And it's ever since I went and discovered my ancestry and I traced it back and I found out that Anne Boleyn is a distant first cousin of mine. So I've been obsessed with Anne Boleyn. Here's a new book by Natalie Grueninger. I just love her take on Anne Boleyn. She's a great podcast Talking Tudors host as well. So that's kind of cool. And this is just all my kind of nerd out on England. And then I got some more Greek grammar books, Latin things, which I never did get into. I can't speak Latin. I don't know anything about it. I got some water from my recent trip to England from Glastonbury, where Avalon was thought to be. There's a little people from when I was a kid. And Galadriel, Glinda. I like sorceresses, things like that. And then I got, more books here. Love is in the Earth, the Crystal Book. Here's my dream journal. I've written, all my important dreams since about 2007. So anything that really comes out in my dreams, I put that there. Got my little book of shadows, with the Greek writing in there, Athena, all that. And then what else do I got here? Oh, this is a cool book. It's called Following Your Path. It's out of print now. But for those of you who love tarot, this book goes through the myths and the legends, but it goes through the tarot cards, and you meet each archetype. And you finish the sentences in the book. And at the end of each chapter, you kind of look up, well, what did that mean? What did that answer to what the crown represents for you? What did that really mean for you? So it's a way to deep dive into the major arcana and all its symbolism. And it really helped inform some of what I really delved into with Fearless Tarot, which is all about going deeper into that symbolism. So if you can get a copy of Following Your Path, like on Amazon or at a used bookstore, do it. It's such a great book. I can't recommend it enough. And then we just got kind of like these soul work books, Odyssey for Your Soul. This is a great book called True Refuge, Finding Peace and Freedom in Your Own Awakened Heart. It's a wellness book. And then we got archaeology books, Greek religion. You can kind of see what I'm obsessed with all these years. And then we got more divination stuff besides my tarot shelf that's right over there. My friend Rana George made this beautiful Lenormand deck. I just adore it. And, let's see here. So you can see the clouds and the garden. And she wrote this best-selling, wonderful book. So if you're interested in the Lenormand deck, check out Rana George's The Essential Lenormand. It's such a great book. And then we got astrology books, which I've always been fascinated by. I know a lot about it, with random facts, but I just don't know how to put it all together. It's not as seamless as tarot is for me with astrology. I get too bogged down in the details. But then we go into the different planets. I'm still fascinated by it. My ephemeris. Now I don't really need those with a computer app. And then my books, of course. And then my friend Teresa Reed's books. I got a few more of her books too, but they're on other shelves. I got more books than are just here. And then we got Tarot Inspired Life by Jamie Alford. I love her writing. This is such a great book. Melissa Signova, The Kitchen Table Tarot, such a good book. Really, this book too is just a great guide to the Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism too. I love it. So that's kind of my tarot shelf. And then down here, this big kind of beat up looking book was actually given to me by one of my aunts, and it's an old photo album of relatives that I have that I can't identify yet. They're pictures from the 1800s, and it's such a tragedy. No one wrote the names down for these people. So I've been into kind of ancestry and studying these things, so I'm hoping to decipher who are all these people. I might be able to find other records so we can kind of match the faces and the names with things. I got just a lot of kind of a mess of books here. These are kind of my oversized books that are just too big, like the big book on owls. I love owls so much. Judy Garland, my favorite. I got her down here, so anything about Judy Garland, you can see I got quite a few books about her. Maria Callas, the famous opera singer. I love her. Such a great diva in opera and fascinating person. And then for classical music, when I played the oboe, I studied oboe in college. I got a doctoral degree in it. So we got a little trivia. Marcel Tabito, he is the father of American oboe playing. He was from France. And every American oboist can trace their teaching descent to him. And then we just got more oversized books that just don't fit anywhere else, kind of on the bottom shelf here. So yeah, that's a little trip around my bookshelves. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you are interested in knowing more about any of them. Take care.